Back to reporting season now, though, and Perseus Mining has reported its half year with revenues coming in at $665 million, profit after tax of $203 million. It says gold production and sales performed particularly well. It plans to produce more than 500,000 ounces of gold per year and maintain the positive trend of improved earnings. The interim dividend is 1.06 cents per share. Pleased to welcome CEO and Managing Director of Perseus Mining, Jeff Quartermaine. Jeff, welcome. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a record result coming through from Perseus, isn't it?
Yes, it is. This is the best results that we've put out in the history of the company, but certainly we've been working towards this for some time. We set ourselves a goal some time ago of producing 500,000 ounces of gold, and in calendar 22 we were 520 odd thousand ounces. So we've been building to this, but the good thing is that we believe that we can sustain this for quite a number of years to come.
That's what I was going to ask. So is your work done, Jeff? No, of course not. So how do you make sure that you sustain this production for those years to come?
Well, look, we focus very heavily on our production activities, of course, but at the same time, we're also involved in business growth activities, organic growth in particular. So our organic growth team have a particular objective of making sure that every year, whatever mineral reserves we use, that we actually replace it through discovery, and focusing on exploration fairly adjacent to existing infrastructure to be able to take advantage of that investment. So we work very hard at that, and the other side of that, of course, is that with our balance sheet being what it is, we're now in a position to consider M&A activity should the right opportunity for value creation come along.
And that would, by default, be in the sort of jurisdictions that you're already working in? Like, are there plenty of opportunities there, Jeff?
Absolutely, yeah. No, we're certainly focused on the African continent. We believe we've got a competitive advantage there, having worked for many years and learned how to work with the rhythms of the countries. But we're certainly seeing, particularly, say, in Sudan, which is a very largely underexplored area, where, having taken the decision to go into the country, we're experiencing what we might call first mover advantage, where many people are coming to us and asking us to partner with them on their land holdings and the like. So yes, we've got a number of opportunities in front of us. Of course, not everything we see it passes muster in the sense of delivering our expected returns and the like. But it certainly is worth our while to take a close look, and if the stars align, and execute and add those additional reserves to our portfolio.
Jeff, last time we spoke, I addressed cost pressures that every miner, is talking about for good reason, but you'd indicated that those inflationary pressures hadn't really been taking hold in Africa, at least last time we spoke. Has anything changed there?
Look, I think we're seeing some pressure in certain areas, but part of our business is to make sure that we continually improve and to make sure that we bring costs down, to accommodate the inflationary forces that exist. To say there is none would simply not be true. Certainly the war in Ukraine and sanctions, embargoes put on Russia has had some influence around things like the ingredients of explosives and things, which has caused the cost of those to increase. But look, our job is to make sure that we keep our costs under control, and we work very hard at that.
Now, when it comes to the price of gold, are you still expecting strength to come through in calendar 23?
Well, look, I'm no expert in the pricing of gold. I mean, I'm continually surprised by the movements, but certainly there does seem to be a school of thought thinking that we will see some increase in the price. But I guess what the US is doing with their interest rates is clearly influential at the present time. And the strength of the US dollar is staying up there, so that's keeping a lid on things. But look, we kind of say, well, the price will be what it will be. We do have actually a hedge book in place for about 24% of our production over the next three years. I think the average price is about $1,915 an ounce. So we actually have our forecasts, our cash flow forecasts, underpinned by that hedging. If the price goes up, that's terrific. We sell at the higher price. If it falls down, then we're covered as well. So, we're not overly concerned around the gold price, but we are very focused on production. We are very focused on costs, we're very focused on renewing our reserve base.
And just a final question, which is a little bit off piste, but every miner in their releases, at least nowadays, puts forth their green credentials or what they're doing to mitigate their emissions and what they are doing in terms of ESG. I don't see that in your reports. What is that a reflection of? Is that a reflection of operating in Africa? Is that something that is...
No, that's a reflection of you not reading them carefully enough. I'm
really?
sorry, but because it's certainly in there, and I don't mean to be rude about that. No, look, we take this very, very seriously, and we always have. In fact, we're a little bit bemused by the concentration of attention on it, because we have always worked very closely with our communities from a, being a responsible corporate citizen. We recognise if we don't have a strong licence to operate, we won't be there. And that involves responsible environmental management. It involves responsible social interactions with our host governments and host communities. And of course, it involves maintaining the highest possible standards of governance from a global perspective, because let's not forget that our bankers and investors are located all around the world, and they expect standards from us being in Africa at the same level as if we were in their home countries. So for us, ESG is not a particularly new thing. We've been doing it forever. We report it in a very detailed manner in our sustainability reports, and we update it each quarter in our operating reports. So we don't stand on a fence and shout out about how good we are. We just get on and do it.